So, have the government broken the rental market for tenants? Not for landlords, for tenants. Because as it stands at the moment, landlords are selling at 3-1. And on top of that, as this graphic shows you from HomeLet, the amount of increase month on month on rental properties that tenants are trying to find is going up drastically, over 10% annually for the God knows how many last years. This is a real problem for tenants, and if it's a problem for tenants, it's also going to turn into a problem for first-time buyers, because a lot of first-time buyers are formerly tenants. Now, there's a problem at the moment because you've got to pay an extra 3% stamp duty if you want to buy a buy-to-let property. On top of that, you've got all the compliance and regulations that landlords now have to apply, and all of the tax elements of things that have become really difficult for landlords to actually make money. And in fact, one of my clients just the other day said, I'm now effectively paying for my tenant to live in my property, which really goes against the idea of trying to bring a private sector market to the UK, which was working fantastically well for landlords and tenants. People were able to make more money out of their rental portfolio, and on top of that, tenants were able to rent properties frequently at a realistic rental price that was actually below mortgage rates or below mortgage prices monthly for a fair period of time, and now it's nowhere near, even with the high mortgages. But the biggest problem is the shortage of stock. Because it's now so difficult for a landlord to get a property, because the government made it that difficult, trying to squeeze the market towards first-time buyers, which is now having a negative effect on tenants who are first-time buyers in the making 9 times out of 10, this has resulted in it becoming almost impossible to rent a property. So how does this get fixed? I would love to see the 3% stamp duty additional land tax taken away from the context to give more property investors, the hard-working, self-employed tradies out there, business owners out there that want to use their lucrative funds that they've made through their businesses in a tax-efficient way to get a property investment, which gives a tenant the ability to have someone to live, because at the moment it is an absolute cat and dog fight out there to find a property. And if you've been a tenant or you've been looking to rent a property, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's become almost impossible and a crisis, I would say, in the rental market. So the only way that we can do this and make it better is by having more properties come to the market to rent. And the only way we can do that is by changing what is available at the moment. And that means we either need more landlords available, or we need landlords to stop selling, or we need to facilitate the tenants that want to rent to become first-time buyers and start buying in the property market. And that probably means we need some sort of new help to buy scheme, new first-time buyer stamp duty scheme, some sort of incentive that's not there at the moment to give tenants the ability to buy a property. It has to be one or the other, or this crisis will continue. I'd love to know what you think in the comments. Have the government broken the rental market by trying to be clever and going full circle, trying to give first-time buyers the jump on landlords and indirectly killing the dream for tenants, meaning that tenants are now having to pay an extortionate amount of money for a simple 2-bed flat, meaning they're trapped in the cycle of renting and never going to be able to save to become a first-time buyer. What's the answer? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.